In this day and age, and particularly at Moderna, where we have new information coming out on a regular basis, being able to feed that information to the audio format makes being nimble and pivoting easy.
As the #1 audio company, iHeartMedia gives marketers access to all, from national to local, every audience, live conversations, trusted influencers, and the insights and data you need to grow. Not just a media company, iHeartMedia is your access company. If you're a marketer, go to iHeartResults.com.
Technology moves fast. I need to move faster. WGU's competency-based education puts me in control of how fast I move through my IT degree program. I can accelerate my program by applying what I already know to my courses and focusing on the things I need to learn. Earn a respected, accredited degree that propels your career in the IT field. Learn more at www.wgu.edu/University of U.
Definitely time to replace. If you've put off replacing windows in your home because it's too expensive, here's great news. You can now get a free in-home window consultation and free price quote from Renewal by Andersen. And right now you can save $375 off every window and $750 off every door. Just text FOG to 200-300 for your free consultation on top quality affordable windows or patio doors for $0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for a year. That's right, you don't pay a dime for an entire year. Text FOG to 200-300 right now to save $375 off every window and $750 off every door. But hurry, these big dollar savings won't last long. Text FOG to 200-300. Don't wait. Text the word FOG to 200-300. Text FOG to 200-300.
Hear the latest news from the headlines on your phone. Download the free iHeartRadio app for exclusive live coverage of breaking news. From what's happening where you live to what's happening across the country. Live from the center of the story. Listen for free anywhere, anytime. Download the free iHeartRadio app today.
841 and K-Fire. Todd Mitchell, Guns in the 701. Jamie, you all recovered from the other day on the K-Fire Cafe there. It got a little heated.
Oh yeah, hey, that was a good discussion, Todd. I actually had a number of people tell me they thought that was good information. That Cody and I were going over, that they didn't take a side for or against, or they just thought it was a good discussion. And Cody's a passionate individual about the Second Amendment, and so am I. And voices got raised a little bit, but no harm, no foul. We're still buddies.
It was a good spirited discussion. If you missed it, folks, you can get it on iHeart or KFYR.com on the K-Fire Cafe. What day was that? Wednesday, right?
Yeah, it was Wednesday afternoon.
Blur for me now. What can I say? New York's ammunition background system check. A hot mess? What? Why is it such a hot mess? Just check. Shouldn't be that tough.
So they passed a new law in New York requiring background checks, and you're not going to believe all the stuff you got to do here, Todd. So if you want to just buy something as minuscule as a box of shotgun shells or even 22 anywhere in New York State, get yourself prepared for a bevy of personal infringements here. Background check, that's going to be $250. Every time you buy ammunition, there's going to be a $250 background check fee and a long wait, Todd. So you guys ready here? This is what's going to be required of you in Democrat-controlled, massively Democrat-controlled. You know, the Democrats who claim to love freedom, but they really don't. New York State. So here's the information required to purchase. It is your name, street address, city, state, zip code, parish, county, or borough, resides in city limits, ? Contact info with that. You're going to need confirmed email and primary phone, country of citizenship, government ID. Is the purchaser an alien who has been admitted to the United States under a non-immigrant visa, ? Social security number or UPN, driver's license number. I'm not done yet, guys. Hang in there. Place of birth, country, state, and city, occupation. Now, that's not all. There's a few more things here they need, just to buy your box of 22. Manufacturer, the caliber, the grain, the amount of ammo being purchased, ammunition manufacturer's numbers. That includes the lot number, serial number, and other distinguishing numbers on the box. And, of course, the state law also requires the state police, on top of the ATF crawling up your rear end whenever they want, periodic on-site inspections of ammunition and firearm retailers. All of that to buy any ammunition, but if you just want to go buy a box of 50 rounds of 22, you're going to have to go through this. And So Mike Mayhood, who owns Mayhood Sporting Goods in Norwich, New York, said the new system will likely going to put a bunch of ammunition retailers out of business. You know, he said they lose money on a box of every ammo they sell because of the time involved, and obviously it's intentional by the state. It can take up to 15 minutes just to enter the information required by the state police into their computers. And then, of course, there's delays. The longest delay has been 22 hours. I mean, and some customers become irate, obviously. Clay, is there anything you can add to this complete communist law by the New York Democrats?
Oh, this is insane. I want to point out one thing. That same New York City also is a sanctuary city for illegal aliens who don't have to have a country of citizenship declared. They don't have to have a government ID. They don't have a driver's license. They don't have a social security number. And they can come there willy-nilly and do whatever they want, which I think they're finding out is going to backfire on them now. But getting back to the ammunition thing, there's a $2.50 fee on every single background check that's going to take place on the ammunition sales now. And that's just a state requirement. They also have to pay $9 for each firearm background check. This is to the state. This is on top of anything that maybe the retailer will have to require. So what do you think that's going to do to the price of ammunition? Because they're going to have to maintain this license. They're going to have to maintain this database. I was kind of reading how it takes employees up to 15 minutes just to enter this information into a computer. Well, I don't know about you, but during a hunting season and you go into any gun or ammunition store, it's pretty busy in there with sales, isn't it? Can you imagine 15 to 20 minutes just getting on there? Then there's delays, and they're finding that some of them as long as 22 hours. And in another article I was reading and just kind of looking at some of the complaints, some of them are just flat-out declines for no reason. If a customer gets mad and leaves and has his information already put in there, state police says there's no way to remove that from the system. Oh? What do you mean there's no way? It's a computer system. I can remove anything from my computer. I bet they can too, but they won't. This is a backdoor gun registry. Can you imagine this? They have your information, all of it. They know exactly what you bought. And you could, I mean, we know how this goes. How many times have I been out with you and we just grab, we're shooting 9mm or we're shooting 22s or whatever. We just got a box of ammo there and we're firing away, having fun at, shooting our blue donkeys on the steel or something.
Hey, Clay, the Democrats say that buying a Glock's easier than buying a candy bar. Does that sound? Do you got to go through that to buy a candy bar or pretty much anything else? I mean, that's like
no,
like more than.
Oh, give them time; they'll figure out a way.
I mean, this is the same state and the same city that wanted, they banned big gulps essentially. So that's like candy bar manufacturers went to the sharing size rather than the king size. They just renamed their product.
Pop couldn't be over 16 ounces, never mind the fact that I could just grab 16 of those if I wanted to. So you haven't solved the problem.
And this whole
idiots in New York.
This is just another way and another form of control. And the whole intent of these kinds of things, and we're going to talk about that in the next little segment here, is about control and making it as difficult for you to exercise your Second Amendment rights and to get rid of either the dealers or the licensees or anything so that you can actually do that in a place of business. And it's legal. It's a legal product. Yeah.
Guns in the 701 here on K-Fire 848. ATF backs down to the zero tolerance lawsuit. What's going on?
Yeah, if everybody hadn't heard, I'm sure a lot of people maybe haven't, unfortunately, but you got Bridge City Ordinance over there in Valley City, North Dakota. I mean, this is a very local story. We've been kind of covering it. I know we've mentioned it a few times on our different shows. ATF come in and raided them. You got to remember, these guys, it's called Morehouse Enterprises, and they essentially filed an injunction, essentially, on the ghost gun order last year, which that's a whole other issue we've discussed. And they felt that the ATF retaliated by diving in with the zero tolerance policy, which, by the way, guys, has not passed law, hasn't been through Congress, none of the steps that you're supposed to take. Nope. Biden administration put forth to the Department of Justice and then on to the ATF. Of course, Merrick Garland says he don't know what's going on in his department, so he claims, unless it's this probably. But they essentially made this zero tolerance policy. And what that means is that if ATF comes in and looks at your record, now mind you, Bridge City Ordnance has had no infractions since they've been in business. They've been in, the ATF makes spot checks. Any guy that has an FFL dealer can tell you this. And the guys out of Fargo have been pretty good. That's usually where they come out of. And they found nothing at all. But the ATF found clerical errors, which, my goodness, any of us can make a clerical error. And usually what you do on that is you put a little correction by it, you initial it to acknowledge it happened, and you move on with life. But they're using that as a way to take away an FFL license. And that's what happened over there. Well, during the whole course of this entire fiasco with ATF and Bridge City Ordnance, discovery. If anyone isn't familiar with that, you have discovery in any lawsuit. During discovery, they found out that one of the ATF's own agents, a Christopher Lee Yates, he should have been in jail for decades because he was actually convicted of stealing thousands of firearms from ATF's Martinsburg, West Virginia headquarters. Not only that, after he was caught, or the only way he got caught, was because they started tracing firearms that he had sold and they popped up in crimes. How ironic is that? Can you imagine if you and I did this? Kind of sounds like Fast and Furious to me. Even after all of that, and the reports that were falsely stating the countless firearms had been destroyed, ATF actually filed these. After all that, not one single ATF employee was ever punished. And shortly after they made this, not a one was punished for any of this. And you got to remember, this happened in, they made a Freedom of Information Act request in November of 2019. That's 3.5 years ago pretty much. Regarding this, ATF has not responded. Shortly after this all happened and discovery took place and this knowledge came to the light of day, all of a sudden ATF just backed down. They completely backed down on the whole thing. And, I kind of like what the Gun Owners of America said on this. They said that, it's a good thing, but it's not a victory. It's just regaining some of the ground that had already been lost to the enemy. And we got to remember, we're in a war, and these are our enemies now embedded into these agencies. And they're not all bad people, but we have enough of them in there now that they've went rogue. They've been weaponized, and they are coming for your guns. And it's just a plain, simple fact. Over 1,000 FFL dealers have already been shut down for things just like this.
So that New Mexico governor's been kind of walking back her thing now. She seemed to want to get rid of every conceivable kind of gun. Where does she stand now?
Go ahead.
Oh, isn't that nice of her, Todd? She changed her Queen's decree there a little bit, saying that now I guess instead of the entire county, we're just going to ban firearms from parks and playgrounds. This is her revised order. Come about a week after she announced her 30-day ban on your Second Amendment civil right to carry open or concealed in public there in Albuquerque and surrounding Bernalillo County. She's got so much pushback, Todd, even from people in her own party. Her state's the Democrat Attorney General there said he wouldn't back her on that because it wouldn't pass constitutional muster. And I mean, she kind of backed down on her order, but she's still out there making ridiculous statements like, I'm going to continue to push and make sure that all of us are using every resource available to put an end to this public health emergency with the urgency it deserves. Low Jack Grisham was
public health emergency. My God.
And does this sound familiar, Clay? She said, I will not accept the status quo. Enough is enough, which is enough is the Democrats' talking points for when shootings happen by these weirdos who are, most of them are Democrat sycophants anyways. But enough is enough, Clay, right? That's like their little catchphrase there that they've been using for quite a while here.
Oh yeah, they put that right in with everything else. They lump it in, and that seems to be their mantra and their social cry. And you know what? Enough is enough. You're right. I've had enough of their tyranny. Maybe that's our whole thing. Enough is enough.
Love it.
Well, I'm not saying it's enough of guns in the 701, but guys, I'm out of time. But it's never the end of guns in the 701, even on iHeart, because they're on the free iHeart app.
Absolutely. Catch us there right after the show. We get things up later, the iHeart podcast platform and every place else. And, of course, you can always find us on our website as well.
Yes, Jamie.
Don't go ahead and go back. The best podcast on iHeart from Wednesday night. We had on a special guest, a young lady who's going to be a lawyer, constitutional Chafee. Naomi Chafee was on, and it went a little longer than we wanted to. We're going to try and keep it shorter, but it was a good show. There's a lot of good information.
Wait a minute, you guys go long, really? That never happens on Fridays here on my show. That never goes.
That's why we need more time. We need a lot more time.
I also clarified some of the NRA points from last Wednesday's show that Cody might want to listen to.
Yeah, well, we'll get you guys in a debate, and the next time April Fool's Day falls on a Friday, I'm just going to have you guys way past 9 o'clock and let Daryl East just sit there and stew and go, isn't I supposed to be on now? Oh, no, it's not 9 o'clock yet, Daryl. Mountain time.
There you go.
There you go. Goes to the 701. Have a great weekend, guys.
You too. Thanks,
Todd. See you, buddy.
All righty, take care.
Happy birthday to every girl and boy.
Feels weird hearing that song after Guns in the 701. Hey, happy first.